Hello everyone and welcome to Padawan Unlimited. Today I'm going to do a kind of a recap and follow up to a video I made last week which was a market prediction regarding serialized cards set for a jump to Lightspeed. Now if this is the first video you've seen of mine and you didn't see the one last week, just as a quick recap so we're all on the same page, what am I even talking about? Well, for Fantasy Flight Games' Star Wars Unlimited trading card game, for this set, which is hitting the street on this Friday, I think it was March 14th, they decided to produce a limited print edition or limited run of essentially a collector's box called Carbonite Edition Booster Box. Within this Carbonite Edition Booster Box, there are 12 packs, and then there are 4 boxes in a case, and each of these packs has a prestige card in it. A prestige card is an alternate variant art, which is a rare edition of a card that already exists within the main set. Okay, and there are 3 versions of that. There is a non-foil alternate art card. There's a foil alternate art card, and there's a serialized version of that card. The serialized card version being the most rare, and each of those serialized is stamped from 1 to 250. So that means that there is only 250 of this particular card. There are 36 ships that have a prestige variant. So if you times 36 by 250, that means there are 9,000 of these cards that will ever be produced. Okay, and so for me, who might be interested in purchasing of these cards, maybe holding one for a collection or some type of investment in the future, I want to do a market prediction so that we can, because this is the first year. And maybe with some analysis, we can all come together and find out what a good price is or where we think the market is going to go. Now, my initial predictions were that, these prices can go all the way up to like 3,000, probably not past that. And that's for cards like number 1, if someone decides to sell it. More realistically, somewhere around $1,000 USD is where a price, of a really well-established card that's in the meta, that's probably like a 1 to 10 where that's going to be, and then on average we'll probably see cards go around 380, right? That was my initial prediction, average around 380, but potentially $400 to $700 for prestige cards of a lower tier in terms of 100 out of 250, 232 out of 250, those types of cards. But anyway, like a median around like $380. And the first thing I want to talk about is, before we even get to those numbers, is I want to show what the market history looks like for the booster boxes to even get this. Because I think that this is indicative, or would be indicative of the value of the prestige cards when you pull them. Now, I have a snapshot here of some data within TCGplayer.com of just the booster boxes in general. And so far, over the past couple of months, they've remained relatively stable in terms of, they went up to 350, down to 244, but on average, you're still seeing them selling around $300, which is around retail, which means that there's still a strong interest or desire to get these booster boxes. If that wasn't the case, then you would see these the value of these boxes go dramatically down, and then that would, to me, correlate to lower prices from the serialized cards. Because this has been relatively stable after pre-release, where a lot of people got their cards, that means to me that shows that is indicative of the prestige cards retaining some type of value for at least a little while longer. And we'll see once it actually hits the main street and the main release. Now, like I mentioned before, my bold prediction was that we would see cards go all the way up to $3,000, but more realistically, initial offering. I'm not saying people are going to purchase this, but people who are trying to sell are going to go in that direction. And one of the things that I saw when Carbonite boxes were available to be sold was Annihilator number 100, which is a kind of desirable number out of 250. Someone tried to put it out there for $1,000, and they tried to buy it now for almost $1,800. So, needless to say, I think I hit I hit the mark there, where there was gonna be some initial offerings for people going really high. I'm expecting that. People, I don't know if these are called scalpers or anything, but people want to make their dollar, right? I don't think this one sold. I actually didn't track this all the way to the end, but this was probably one of the higher priced cards that I saw on eBay, which is where I know a lot of people get their cards. Now, if we move on to a different medium, which is TCG Player, I have here on the screen a variety of prestige cards that are being listed here. So you'll see the range going anywhere between like $400 to $1,500. You see, Devastating Hunt Devastator, which is going for $800, which is a very desirable card. These prices are pretty much on the higher end of where I thought they were going to be because I'm assuming these are not going to be like number ones, right? I don't think that they are. These are probably somewhere in the middle and maybe not necessarily desirable cards, desirable numbers, serialized numbers. I mean, but it is indicative of the initial offering. People are trying to get within that $400 to $700 range, but actually a little bit more. And I think that this is going to go down, and here's why. At least for the next couple weeks, we'll probably see this down and probably again stabilize around the 400, 350 to 400 mark. Now, if you look at eBay, right, which is where people are actually transacting, because these are all pre-sale. Those were all pre-sale within TCG Player. I have here a screenshot of something I was tracking for Gold Leader. Gold Leader is a desirable card in terms of the IP. I don't know if it's going to see too much play, but it is the hot Millennium Falcon. And we see that it went for $380 for a number 192. So that's kind of middle of the pack. Nothing really special about that number unless it's someone's birthday. So, and there was 32 bids. So this one is a very popular card to try to get because there was 32 entries and it ended up selling for $380. And I think this is a more realistic number in terms of what the sales are going to be like for kind of the average prestige card. Another example I have here is an Executor. This one actually did sell as well. I don't think that it actually went for $800. It was or best offer, but it did sell. So it is interesting to see that someone bought this card, and again, it's a number 128 out of 250. So it's not necessarily like the 250, 69, 1 through 10, right? Any of those like really good that you would think are like really good numbers, right? Or like 7, which is really lucky. It's just an example, I think, of like cards that it is an example though that there's a market out there, a secondary market out there for these serialized cards, and although the initial offering right now for a lot of these cards is a little high, as we can see, at least within the at least we can see within eBay, where we're actually seeing the transactions, and this is before the market it hits the Carbonite boxes really hit the full market. You're seeing the prices more stabilized, I think, below like the $600 mark, probably more closer to like $300 to $400, and so. I mean, I hope you guys find this helpful. I'm going to do another video, probably another week or two, kind of seeing where the trend lies. My initial graph that I showed last week was that within 1 to 3 months, we're going to see these, really start to tank probably. And again, my running prediction is that these are probably going to stabilize around 380 for median and or average sale price. I'm going to keep tracking for this. If any of you guys have an opinion on this and you think it's going to go higher or lower, please share it in the comments. I would love your feedback. Anything I can do to make this analysis better, especially as we go into new sets with new Carbonite boxes, I would love to do that. So anyway, until next time, I hope you enjoyed the show. Please consider liking, subscribing. It really helps with the channel. And may the force be with you.